everybody, and welcome to another dynamic drawing tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to draw an eyebrow. Before continuing to watch, please subscribe and give this video a like and comment down below what you'd like to see next from me. There's a list of recommended materials that I use to best complete this tutorial. I will list these in the description box below. The materials include a medium blending stump, a large blending stump, a ruler, smooth drawing paper, and an HB, 4B, and 6B pencil. If you do not have the pencils that I suggested, you can just use one pencil but use various amounts of pressure to create different shades. And if you don't have a blending stump, you can just use a tissue. And finally, if you do not have a ruler, you can use any object with a straight edge. So, without further ado, let's get started. To get started, I first drew a line that resembles a backwards C. The length that you decide to draw this line depends on how thick the eyebrow is. I drew mine in about a medium length, but it's all up to your discretion. Now I'm using my ruler and I'm drawing two lines that are coming off from the backward C shape. Each line is 3 inches long and the lines are going towards the top or going upwards. Now I'm starting to draw the lines that are going downwards. These lines are 4 inches long. However, if you want to adjust the measurements of these lines, it is up to your discretion if you want a longer or a shorter eyebrow. Now, as you can see, after I drew these two lines, they don't connect at the end. So I'm drawing a line that connects from a portion of the line going downwards to connect to the other line at the bottom. Now I'm using my Kneadable eraser to remove the portion of the line I didn't use. Now I'm taking my HB pencil and I'm applying an even layer of graphite to the paper. I'm using the blunt end of my pencil to put down the graphite. And then for any white spots, I'm using the tip of my pencil to fill in those little spots. Now I'm taking my large blending stump and I'm blending this graphite. The reason for putting down this layer of graphite is so that there are no white spots peeking through the hairs of the eyebrow once the eyebrow is completed. Now I'm beginning to start my layering method. I'm using my HB pencil and I'm drawing the first layer of hairs on the eyebrow. These first hairs mimic the C shape of the first line that we drew, and they stem from the bottom line. Now I'm drawing the hairs that are towards the middle. I'm drawing these hairs coming from the bottom and they are curving towards the top. These are the longest hairs on my drawing. Now I'm starting to draw the bottom portion of the hairs. These hairs also stem from the bottom and curve into a peak at the end. Now I'm drawing hairs that are coming from the top of the eyebrow and are joining with the bottom hairs. These hairs join in a V shape. Now I'm using my medium blending stump and I'm blending portions of the hairs that I drew. I want to have parts of the drawing blended and other parts not. In a realistic eyebrow, there are patches of hairs that are so clumped together that they are very hard to see each singular hair. So I'm blending these parts to create more realistic features. It is up to your liking where you blend the hairs. However, typically I like to blend the hairs in the patches that are very clumped together that go towards the bottom. And also, I like to blend the hair that is stemming from the bottom, and then I gradually like the hair to start appearing once it hits the top. Now I'm taking my 4B pencil and I'm going over the hairs that I previously drew with my HB pencil. This is my second layer. The reason for drawing the hair stemming from the bottom is because it gives a more realistic look, since most hairs stem from the bottom and the top of the eyebrow. However, if you do not draw all of your hair stemming from the top or bottom, it's okay if there are a few stray hairs because that gives it a more realistic look, since no eyebrow is perfectly shaped. If you are satisfied with the layer you have drawn, you can move on to the next step. However, if you want to continue along with me, please do. Now I'm repeating the same process that I did with my HB pencil, and I'm blending the same patches that I blended earlier where I want the hairs to be clumped together. Now, to do my final layer, I'm using my 6B pencil and I'm going over each individual hair. I'm accentuating the 6B in the middle hairs because it's the darkest pencil, and typically hairs on an eyebrow are darkest in the middle. Hairs tend to be lighter and less full on the middles and the ends. The thickest and fullest part is in the middle. Now I'm blending and finishing up any areas of my drawing that I was not satisfied with. If you are satisfied with how your drawing looks, you can skip to the next step. For my final step, I am erasing any construction lines with my Kneadable eraser, and I'm also erasing any blemishes that are not wanted. I'm going to be taking my HB pencil to accentuate the individual hairs and draw a couple more. Now I'm going to be taking my large blending stump and I'm going to be blending any areas that I want to be blended. However, this is up to your liking, and if you are satisfied with your drawing, then you have completed the end of the tutorial. However, you can keep going with me to finish up any areas that you do not like. Additionally, after all of my touch-ups, I will be adding a layer of HB pencil surrounding the eyebrow to make it pop. However, that is optional.